Hey, what is up, guys? Flash Taco here, and here's my 1 month review of the iPhone X, or the iPhone 10.
I'm going to start this review off with, I like this new iPhone. I like the look of this new iPhone. It is very modern. I like the bezel-less design. It's a very modern, sleek looking phone with rounded corners and with its edge-to-edge screen and a beautiful glossy glass finish. But with all that being said, it does have a learning curve with its gestures.
The new gestures take a little bit to get used to, but you pick them up fast.
You swipe up to go home, and you swipe down to bring up other widgets and menus. It's so simple to learn and use.
For new users, it'll be kind of confusing at first, but once you get them down, you got them down.
Also, because this phone is made of glass and not aluminum, it is the most easily breakable iPhone out there.
I cannot stress this enough, guys. Get a case for your phone. I learned this the hard way. I dropped it in a parking lot and I shattered the screen. I had to buy Apple Care in order to get it fixed for $30. That was $230 out of my pocket. Better than the $500 it would cost to fix this thing, but $230 still. It's expensive. Get a case. Get a screen protector. You need it.
Now on to the tech specs. This iPhone is rocking an OLED screen from Samsung with an A11 Bionic processor with a neural engine that's capable of 600 billion operations per second. And of course, their famous saying, this is the fastest iPhone yet.
I love how it's so smooth and it just works. Just as an Apple phone should.
Now on to Face ID. I will say 95% of the time it works for me. The other 5% of the times it doesn't work is because it's too bright outside and there's too much infrared light hitting me. So during those times, I'll have to type in my password. With that being said, it is hard to fool with a picture of yourself, and its unlock response time is almost as fast as Touch ID. So much so that I didn't notice a difference. Because of its infrared sensors, it's quick and precise. But now on to another very important thing of a phone, the camera.
The iPhone X is rocking a 12 megapixel wide angle and a telephoto camera. It can record 4K video at 24 or 30 frames per second and do 1080p HD video recording at 30 frames or 60 frames per second.
Here's the front-facing camera video. Looks alright. Here's the back camera. It's snowing over there on the mountains. It's cold where I live. So yeah, let's see how the 2x zoom works. Boom. Switch to both cameras. That one seems a little more clearer. This one has more orange tint, more blue tint, orange tint, blue tint. Front-facing camera takes some pretty good pictures, but I still think the Google Pixel is better. It also takes some pretty good night pictures too. The back-facing camera does take some pretty good pictures, but I do think the Google Pixel does better at this category than the iPhone X, but I'm sure this will all be fixed in software updates. The iPhone X doesn't do too well when it's taking videos at night, but when it comes to pictures, it does a great job. Here's some pictures that I have taken at night. I am sure most of these problems will be patched somewhere down the road with software updates, but so far, it's doing a pretty good job. It's not the best, but it's doing a pretty good job. Next, we talk about the new portrait mode. It seems very software-based, like the rest of the issues with the camera. It tends to not blur things it's supposed to blur, like the background. Sometimes it'll highlight the background and blur my face for some reason. I don't know why, but I think the phone thinks my face isn't a face. Unfortunately, portrait mode doesn't work too well, but like I said, hopefully that is fixed in software updates down the road, since both Google and Apple are doing that. Now we must check up on an old friend, Siri. Hey Siri. Siri seems more responsive in this phone than it does in the older ones, which it should. Works just as well as most other assistants on phones. She tells me what the weather is outside.
Hey Siri, what's the weather like in Boise?
It's currently cloudy and 39 degrees in Boise. Expect mostly clear skies starting in the evening. Temperatures are heading down from 39 degrees this afternoon to 28 tonight.
And she can answer most questions, like what my favorite sports teams are doing.
Hey Siri, what's the score of the last Boise State Broncos game?
Which Broncos? College football or men's college basketball?
College football.
Boise State overcame Oregon in the Las Vegas Bowl by a score of 38-28 last Saturday.
Siri does what she needs to do, like a good little horse she is. But we have one more thing to talk about, and it's pretty stupid. Animojis. The Animojis was kind of a selling point for the iPhone. They made a big deal of it on stage, and it is one of the first phones to do something like this, but it isn't doing what they were kind of hinting at. Using the front-facing sensors and stuff to detect your face, it's only using the front-facing camera. So it isn't the best. It's kind of like the Snapchat feature, but here's a look at it. This is fucking retarded, honestly. And yet everybody I know, even my mother who has an iPhone X, is using it. Whoever has an iPhone X is using it. This is such a stupid move. It's so dumb. The Animoji is just a staple to say, hey look, I have an iPhone X, and you don't. Plebeian. Now it's time to end this review. Now, should you buy an iPhone X? Well, I would say that depends on the person. Do you have the money? If not, just go with the iPhone 8. Or something better. I went with the iPhone because I like the iPhone infrastructure more than I like Android. So I went with it. I had a free upgrade and grabbed this motherfucker. Things I want in the future for the iPhone would be Touch ID back, but like implement it into the screen. That would be cool. And that's basically what I want back, Touch ID. I don't really care about Face ID that much. It works great and whatnot, and it's almost as fast as Touch ID, but I like Touch ID better. So I'm gonna leave that off right here, pin in it, and we're gonna move on. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. What do you think about the iPhone X? Do you think it can compete with Google Pixel? Leave your comments down below. And yeah. Have a Merry Christmas.